Hello friends, welcome to our channel Dr. Scott. So today's our new topic is cortical and brainstem control of motor function. Right? So let's start with the cerebral cortex. Okay. Cerebral cortex divides into two parts, motor and somatosensory. Like here this is our brain. It's a superolateral side of the brain, right? This is our brain. So what is this? It's a central sulcus. Central sulcus. So before the central sulcus, like this space is known as motor, and after central sulcus this place is known as somatosensory cortex. Okay. This motor cortex is divided into three parts. Primary, premotor and supplementary motor area. So let's start with the premotor, right? So here will be before premotor. Let me draw this, and it goes to the medially. This whole part is known as primary motor cortex. Okay, primary motor cortex. After that, this part is known as premotor area. Okay, and the third part is known as supplementary motor area. Here will be our third part. So it is known as supplementary motor area. Okay, so why we need to know about the primary, premotor and supplementary motor area? It is so because the function of these three are very different, not very much different but slightly different from each other. So let's begin with the primary motor area. Okay, primary motor area. This part is found on frontal lobe anterior to the, what is this sulcus known as? Central sulcus. Anterior to central sulcus. So here I have a one diagram about it to know what the primary motor cortex controls. Okay, so let's draw the diagram. Think that I take this primary sulcus like this and put it here. Okay, so here we have our primary motor sulcus. This will be the medial part that goes beside. Okay, so here we draw like this. This is foot, to the ankle, to the knee, to the hip, to the trunk, then the hip to the trunk, then after it goes with the wrist, hand, then fingers. Okay, then after fingers it is a face. Okay, and here will be, we have tongue and saliva. Okay, so I will write the whole names here. Start with the downstairs, toes, then what will comes? Ankle, then knee, then hip, then trunk, after that shoulder. We going like this from knee to hip, then from shoulder to fingers. Okay, shoulder, elbow, wrist, hand, fingers, first little, then ring, then middle, then index finger. Okay, after this come to the face. We will go like this. Okay, here we will go like this, then this, here from shoulder to hand, like fingers, here toes to hip or trunk, right? Here we will start from face, lips, jaw, tongue, then here we will have swallowing, mastication, and saliva. So primary motor cortex controls the whole function of the body, like you can see from the toe till the head or face. Okay, it includes saliva, swallowing, mastication, everything. Okay, now you can see here premotor area, right? It is 1 to 3 centimeter. You can see 1 to 3 centimeter anterior to the primary motor cortex. Okay, so premotor area. Okay, it is much complex than primary motor area, because the premotor area take the function, the sensory premotor area, then that it passes to the primary motor cortex, then they passes to the ganglia and thalamus. This make a complex pattern. Now from the thalamus the reverse process will start, from ganglia to thalamus to the primary motor cortex, and from primary motor cortex to the premotor area. So that's why premotor area are much more complicated than primary motor area. Now we will talk about the supplementary area, motor area. It is mainly supplementary motor area. It is mainly lies to the longitudinal fissure. Here you can see that we have longitudinal fissura here. So it is lie mainly in longitudinal fissura, and it is bilateral. What do you mean by bilateral? Bilateral means if we work something, like I am working like this and my both hand are working together, like I am doing the same thing from this, the both hand works together, that's known as bilateral, and it is actioned by supplementary motor area or controlled by supplementary motor area. If we move both the legs together, then in the control of supplementary motor area we can move it easily. Okay, so every area have some specialties. If there will be the damage here, then what will be happen? Our hand will not move properly, like one hand will be on another direction, it will not coordinate with each other. So there are some special area of motor cortex. Special area. So there are 4 special area. First, Broca's area. Second, voluntary eye movement. Third, head rotation area. And fourth, area of hand skills. Area of hand skills. So let's come to our first diagram. Here, the first area, which is known as Broca's area, it is lying near to the anterior to the primary cortex, motor cortex here. Okay, this is known as Broca's area. This Broca's area means the word formation. Word formation. Here we think about the words like I am saying welcome to doctor's court. So the word doctor's court form in our Broca's area. If we have damage to this area, then our vocalization will be like damage, but we can say a small words, like we cannot say the whole words like welcome to doctor's court, doctor's court. We cannot say doctor's court whole name, but we can say the words like yes, no, hi, how are you. We can say this area, these words, but we cannot say the whole sentence. So this area is known as Broca's area. Then the second, which is known as voluntary eye movement. This will be found near to the primary motor cortex here. Here. Near to the premotor cortex and anterior to the primary motor cortex. This voluntary eye movement, if we have damage, then voluntarization of the eye will be not there. Like we have the signals from the occipital for the vision, right? Occipital lobe is for vision and temporal lobe is for hearing, frontal lobe for emotions, words, formations and everything, and the parietal lobe is for act. Okay, so voluntary area, when we damage this voluntary area, then like coordination of the movements of the eye will be not there. Like one eye can be on left side, one eye can be on right side, so the voluntarization of the eye will be not there. Then the third, we have the head rotation, which is near to the anterior to the primary motor cortex and between the premotor and anterior to the primary motor cortex. How we know that this area is particular for this area is particular for head rotation area? It's by electric stimulation. If we actually, the scientists do two things for the electric to know the how cerebrum, particular area of the cerebrum acts like how scientists know that occipital is bone for occipital lobe is for vision. It's by the electric signals that given to the particular area, and we will know by CT scan or anything to know which vision is for what. Okay, which area stimulate act on the vision. Okay, like this the head rotation will be on this area. Now the third and last, area of hand skills. It is near to the supplementary area. Okay, when we have tumor or destruction in this area, hand movement become uncoordinated and non-purposeful. So coordination of movement of hand will be not there. Like if I have a supplementary motor area, then my hand can be like this, move anywhere. We don't have coordination on our hand, right? Now let's start with the tracts. Okay, so first tract is Corticospinal Tract. The another name of the corticospinal tract is pyramidal tract or tractus pyramidalis. Okay, so this tract is originated from the three areas. Yes, 30%, 30% and 40%. Okay, so 30% from primary motor cortex, 30% from premotor cortex and 40% from somatosensory area. Okay, so from here the fibers will originate and go to the posterior limb of internal capsule. Posterior limb of internal capsule. Then it goes to form pyramid in medulla. Okay, then it descends into the lateral corticospinal tract and then intermediate region of spinal cord. Okay, this is one way to go to the intermediate spinal cord, and the another way is from pyramid medulla it goes to the ventral corticospinal tract to the intermediate region of the spinal cord. Very few fibers goes to the like here these fibers goes in the cross section, like in a cross way, like from right hemisphere to the left hand, from left hemisphere to right hand. Okay, but some fibers goes to the ventral corticospinal tract. It's mean like right hand to right hemisphere, left hand to left hemisphere. Okay, ipsilaterally, and then it goes to the intermediate region of the spinal cord. Okay, and the most important, only primary cortex consists of a special cells which is known as beta cells. These are very large cells which consists diameter 60 micrometer equals to 8 RBC. So you can understand that how large is beta cells, and they directly transmit to the intermediate cord of the spinal cord with the velocity of 70 meter per second velocity. So these cells are very important and big cells that found only in primary motor cortex, and they direct transmitted to intermediate region of the spinal cord. Okay, then let me show you in a diagram. Here we have a diagram of corticospinal tract. So let's start with it. Here we have the pyramidal cells and the cells of betas which goes in the internal capsule. Here you can see what I have written: posterior limb of internal capsule, right? So this is a capsule. It is between the caudal nucleus and putamen. Okay, caudal nucleus and putamen. Then it goes in a medulla. Here we have cerebellum or midbrain, pons, and this is medulla oblongata. Let me write here, medulla oblongata. Okay, then it goes in the pyramid of medulla oblongata. After that it will go to the, here you can see the crossing of the fibers, like I said before. In if it goes to the lateral corticospinal, then there will be the crossing of the fibers, right? So the same way they cross each other and goes to the intermediate region of spinal cord. Sometimes they goes on the anterior side and to the spinal cord, or from the posterior side to the intermediate region of the spinal cord. Mostly to the intermediate region of the spinal cord. They fuse to the intermediate region of the spinal cord. Then after, there will be two type of fibers will be there, alpha and gamma. Alpha is for contraction and gamma is for muscle spindle. Okay, so it will go for the alpha, go for the muscles, and beta is also go to the muscles, but their working are different. Okay, so here you can see the whole corticospinal tract. Cortico means cortex, spinal means spinal cord, tract. So the fibers come from the cortex to the spinal cord and they goes to the muscles, like skeletal muscles, every muscles, right? And here you can see the anterior corticospinal tract. This tract comes from the pyramidal and goes direct to the anterior side of the cortex, anterior of the spinal cord, and then it forms the fibers alpha and gamma the same and transmit to the muscles. Okay, the same thing, but it directly goes to the anterior horn of the spinal cord and then it will be send signal to the alpha and gamma fibers to the muscles. Okay, so now in next video we will discuss about cerebrospinal tract, reticulospinal tract, medullary reticulospinal tract, the different tracts of the motor to the spinal cord. Okay, so hope you like this video. If you liked it, then please hit the like button, share it, subscribe if you are new, then subscribe our channel Dr. Scott, and please press the bell icon. Thank you for watching.